Hey and welcome to a new week in the BMW on-road America. I tested many different setups before I drove this lap and all of them left me with the same feeling. The car is a solid pick, but keeping it at the limit is really challenging. The grass is your biggest enemy. Clipping it under acceleration will almost always let your rear snap and you lose the car. It happens with every GTE around here, but in comparison I found the BMW to be the least forgiving. Keep this in mind when you race, be cautious in the right places and you will be fine. Road America has a lot of long straights which create opportunities for attacks. The first one is here right before turn 1. When you are not fighting, you want to stay on the outside. Use the cones for orientation and hit the brakes before you reach the set of 3. You want to be soft on the brakes, attack the curb and carry your momentum into the second turn. The exit is one of the areas where you have to be careful. It's super easy to spin if your exit is too wide. You can see how my rear got unsettled, but I managed to catch it. Use the 3 and 200 meter boards on the left to find your braking point and be soft on the brakes again. A long straight is coming up, which means that you want to finish most of your braking before you reach the apex. This allows you to be slightly earlier on the throttle, stay on it for longer until the end of the straight and gain some time by reaching a higher top speed. You can use the curb on the inside as marker and start to accelerate once you hit it. The next braking zone can be used for attacks again, but the small downhill section makes it tricky for both cars. If you want to attack, you have to keep in mind that you are coming out of the slipstream, carry more speed, and therefore you have to brake a bit earlier. Combined with the downhill part, it means that you have to brake a lot earlier than you would initially expect. If you are not familiar with the limits of your car around here, you should make a few careful attempts first before fully sending it. Look for the 3 and 200 meter boards and hit the brakes hard. If there's no one around you, you want to stay on the far right. Don't be too aggressive here. The curb on the inside looks unremarkable, but attacking it too hard and clipping the grass will let your rear snap. This time it's the other way around. We have a turn-in point right after the crest of a hill, which means that you have to tap the brakes slightly earlier than you are used to. Going too fast over the crest will cost you some grip on the front tires, you won't be able to turn in like you'd expect it and miss the apex. So tap the brakes early to avoid any troubles. The second last spot where you have to be careful, going wide and clipping the grass under acceleration will not only lead to a spin, it can also kill your race since the wall on the left is pretty close. Lift slightly before turning in and carry your momentum onto the next straight. The next sector is a bit more forgiving in terms of clipping the grass. You are in high gears and carry a lot of speed, which gives you slightly more time to react. The 3 and 200 meter boards are your markers like before. Attack the apex and push the car to the middle left of the track after the exit. Use the bridge as orientation for turning in. Your aim is to carry as much speed as possible into the turn while keeping your line tight and staying on the inside. It doesn't matter if you have to lift or if you have to shift down, because staying on the inside shortens the distance that has to be covered by such a huge amount that almost any compromise is worth it. Once you turned in, you want to steer the car with your throttle. Accelerate or coast to adjust your line and stick to the right. Focus on a steady line and throttle inputs until you're about halfway into the turn. That's the point where you want to set the car up for a good exit by taking the second half flat out. It's hard to describe, the turn also feels different depending on the conditions and your tires, so there's no way around practicing to develop a feeling for the limits. You want to take the next turn almost always flat out, but it doesn't matter a lot when you lift slightly to make it. The deciding factor is your confidence in your car and you shouldn't push beyond. The last hard braking zone and also the last opportunity for attacks. Usually you arrive with a lot of speed here, that's why you want to look for the 400 and 300 meter boards. The turn itself is easy. Attack the curb and use the runoff at the exit to carry more speed out of it. Be careful, you have to mind the grass again in the last turns. Approach the next turn from the far right, lift before you turn in and accelerate over the hill. Use the billboard and the change in the track surface to find your braking point for the last turn. You want to brake quite early because the last turn opens up and leads to a long straight. Like before, this means that you want to be early on the throttle. Turn in from the far left, and as you will see, I'm already accelerating again before I reach the curb. It will be difficult at first because the turn feels narrow and you will throw many cars away before you finally hit it, but it's worth practicing. Accelerating too late can easily cost a half, maybe even a full second. You have to trust your car and send it towards the finish. The only thing you should avoid one last time is the grass on the exit. That's the guide. I hope you learned something new, and the Cockpit Lab with telemetry will come up next. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below or join the community Discord. You can find a lot of useful tools, databases and much more there, it's worth checking out. I wish you good luck for the next week and see you next time.